Good evening, and welcome to the Marion Minor Cook Athenaeum. My name is Wesley Whitaker, and I'm one of your Ath Fellows this year. Almost 10 years ago, I vividly remember sitting in front of the TV, glued to CNN, as Anderson Cooper described how the country was quickly sliding into the biggest recession since the Great Depression. I may not have known anything about supply and demand, credit markets, or what the heck derivatives were, but it was obvious even then that this event would profoundly shape the coming years. According to some metrics, the economy started to turn around after the first year of the Obama presidency, and his administration saw the longest sustained period of job creation and GDP growth of any modern president. Despite this data, as well as a soaring stock market, many people in this country have felt that the recovery extolled by pundits and politicians never actually came. No candidate capitalized on this sentiment better than Donald Trump, who made the economy the centerpiece of his campaign. Our guest tonight will describe the origins of the economic trends that helped fuel this sentiment, as well as discuss how they can be changed in the coming years. N. Gregory Mankiw is the Robert M. Barron Professor of Economics at Harvard University. As a student, he studied economics at Princeton University, where he received his bachelor's, and MIT, where he got his PhD. As a teacher, he has taught macroeconomics, microeconomics, statistics, and principles of economics. He even spent one summer working as a sailing instructor on Long Beach Island. Professor Mankiw is a prolific writer and a regular participant in academic and policy debates. His research includes work on price adjustment, consumer behavior, financial markets, monetary and fiscal policy, and economic growth. His published articles have appeared in academic journals such as the American Economic Review and the Journal of Political Economy, as well as in more widely accessible forms including the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal. He has written two popular textbooks that I think some of you are aware of: the intermediate level macroeconomics and the introductory textbook Principles of Economics. The latter has sold over 2 million copies and has been translated into 20 languages. In addition to his teaching, research, and writing, Professor Mankiw has been an advisor to the Congressional Budget Office, as well as the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and New York. He also serves as a research associate of the National Bureau of Economic Research and served as chairman of the President's Council of Economic Advisors from 2003 to 2005. Professor Mankiw's Athenaeum presentation is co-sponsored by the Financial Economics Institute at Claremont McKenna College. As always, I must remind you that audio and visual recording are strictly prohibited. Please silence and put away your mobile devices at this time. And please join me in welcoming Professor Mankiw to the Athenaeum.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's really a great honor to be here. There's a lot of interesting things to talk about today, but I want to start with this picture here. And I'm not interested in the person, I'm interested in the hat. Make America Great Again. This obviously this catchphrase resonated with lots of people in the last election. And what I want to do today is to talk about the economic dimensions of this. What is it about the economy that made people feel like America wasn't great? What made people feel unsatisfied that they decided to elect what obviously has been an outsider, a disruptor, to really to shake things up? There's really three parts of my talk today. The three parts are basically facts, hypotheses, and policies. So I'm going to talk about what are the facts, what are the underlying trends that might make people feel uneasy about what's going on in the U.S. economy. I then want to give you my best guess as to what are the economic forces driving these trends. And then once we have some hypotheses in hand, we can then talk about what policies might pursue to reverse some of these trends. So that's my agenda today. So part one is, what are the facts? Well, this chart shows you the growth rate of real GDP. I've averaged this over a 20-year period. So the first observation here is growth from 1947 to 1967, all the way to the most recent observation, which is growth from 1997 to 2017. So this is growth in real GDP per person. GDP is, of course, total income of the economy. Real means adjusted for inflation. So this is basically average income of the economy, more or less, the broadest measure of average income. And what you see here is you see that this recent observation is the slowest growth experienced during this period. We've been living through a very slow period. A part of this is the financial crisis and the recession, but it's not just that. This is a 20-year average. So I'm trying to average out over the business cycle, and this shows you that we've been living really through a very poor time. So not only was the recession in 2008 very deep, it was followed by quite a slow recovery. And so as a result, the 20-year average is really quite disappointing. Here's another way to look at this. This is showing you the growth in family incomes for different parts of the income distribution. So this over here is the bottom fifth of the income distribution. This is the middle class, the middle fifth. This is the top fifth, and this is the top 5%, which is, of course, a subset of the top fifth. The blue bars show growth before 1973, and here you see sort of robust growth in all parts of the income distribution. So both rich people and poor people were experiencing rapid growth in incomes. And indeed, growth seemed a little bit higher for people at the bottom of the income distribution. So we were becoming more equal as a society. And then after 1973, things changed. That's these brown bars here, where you see after 1973, growth at the top was still okay, but a little lower than before. But growth at the bottom completely fell out. So people at the bottom of the income distribution were experiencing basically no growth in family incomes over a very, very long period of time. So we've gone to a period of lower growth and widening inequality, because people at the top were growing faster than people at the bottom. So those are the two facts that I want to focus on: slower growth and widening inequality. Now, when you think about inequality,